Hello, everyone. Thank you for lending us your attention. We won't take much of your time. Now, if you would, walk with me through a scenario. You're a part of Gen Z or a millennial, and there's a drinking culture surrounding gatherings and celebrations where the main focus is drinking. Well, what if you don't drink? What if you quit drinking? And there's still that pressure to drink because everyone you know is still drinking around you. Don't you just wish that there was a company that gave you a pleasant atmosphere that got rid of that pressure? Well, you're in luck. We're the company for you. What we do is we come down and bring you non-alcoholic beverages called mocktails. So come book with us today. And this is our team.
Hello, I'm Annie, I am the CMO.
I'm Kalani, I'm the COO.
I'm Carmen, I'm the secretary.
I'm Luke, and I'm the CTO.
I'm Nathan, and I'm the CFO.
And I'm Samuel, the CEO.
Our mission is to give people a social safe space without the need or presence of alcohol. And our mission is a mocktail catering company that can bring you a feeling of comfort and a sense of belonging to parents and people possibly in recovery.
And so now I know you're probably wondering, well, what is the problem that we are trying to pose here? There are two main problems that we are trying to pose, which are peer pressure and health problems. Some forms of peer pressure that we are trying to combat are spoken, unspoken, direct, positive, and negative. And some health problems that we are trying to face are high blood pressure, heart disease, there's also strokes, liver disease, and you can also get some digestive problems. And so our solution is our mocktail catering company, which still gives you that refreshing and nice atmosphere without having to have that peer pressure and negative aspects of drinking.
Now, you're all wondering, what is a mocktail? Well, we have a demonstration for you. Nathan, we're going to first. This is a blueberry Patiño.
So what I'll be doing is I'll be demonstrating how we make our drinks. I already washed my hands, so don't be worried there. So right now I have some pre-muddled blueberries, which is, if you don't know what muddling is, which is basically you're just like mashing them down into, so they're more, easy to use. And now, what I do now is I get our shaker, and I put our muddled blueberries in. And after I add our muddled blueberries, add our lime juice. The lime juice just gives it a more tangy and zesty flavor. I add vanilla syrup, which gives it that sweetness and that refreshing flavor. I add just a little bit of tonic water because I'm also going to add it to the drink as well. Just a little more lime juice, just to balance out that tonic water and vanilla syrup. Also, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this Dazzle Douse, which is basically just edible glitter, just to give it that shine and, appealing aspect. And now what I do is I shake it.
That's the tonic that did that.
Yeah, she's supposed to go regular water.
And after I'm done shaking, I pour it into our pan.
There's too much tonic.
Now, the mix you just made, is that what we have in front of us? Yeah. Okay.
And after I add our mixture, I add a little bit more tonic water just to balance it off. And just a bit more of our powder here. And then a few blueberries and mint leaves. Just to give it that aesthetic little feature. And then I mix it. And there we have it, blueberry in the middle. There we go.
Okay, that clicker's still over there. I forgot. Next up is you.
I have a question. What's the nutritional value or facts of?
So for the blueberry mojito, we use organic mint leaves and blueberries. Compared to normal blueberry mojito, they would normally add a type of either vodka or whiskey. And we don't add vodka or whiskey. We actually replace it with tonic water to give it that bitter taste and that same kind of sparkling kick that it has to it. So we replaced the negative effects of that alcohol and replaced it with that tonic water.
You don't know the sugar content and stuff?
No.
So there is sugar.
Yes.
These are our main competitors. First off, we have Zero Proof mocktails. They, like us, they serve mocktails, and also like us, they offer custom drinks. So if they do not offer something that you might want, you can request it. Same for mocktail mixers. Well, Moonlight Mocktails, they do not offer custom drinks, but we do both of those things, and we also offer energy drinks as the base for some of our drinks. If you prefer a bit more like caffeine.
So this is our TAM, SAM, and SOM. Our total addressable market is all of California, or all of the United States. And within that, we will be able to get over $850 million. Within our serviceable addressable market of California, we'll be able to get $100 million. And what we can service is and within what we can service at the current moment, we'll only be able to get $2,500,000. So these are financial projections. Our cost of goods sold will equal to per unit $3.64 with a gross margin percent of 59.56%. Our key metrics. Our key metrics are our target sales, our target units sold, our target retention rate, our website traffic, and our customer score. We plan to sell over 258,000 to get over $3 million. Our customer retention rate is around 46, and we plan to get over 5,000 people to visit our website, with them all voting 4.7 at the minimum. So this is our startup costs. Our startup costs include our legal fees, our equipment used, our advertisement fees, and the total. Our legal costs will cost around $4,000 or $1,000. My apologies. Our equipment will only cost $700, and our advertisement will only cost $2,400, for a grand total of $4,200. Our administrative totals will be $8,739. Our website bugs that we may run into will only cost $9,600, with salaries for all our employees equaling $52,000 per year. And that makes our total for 1 year $170,000.
So unfortunately for today, we do not have an ad, but our ad would include storytelling and voiceover, and just basically our ad would be showing you somebody who would be getting pressured into drinking alcohol, and then showing you that you have an alternative to alcohol and you do not have to drink alcohol in the funds and credit card.
This is the first of our landing pages for our ad. So once they click on it, it'll take them to this page. We'll ask them for their zip code. We'll call to action check if you're servicing your area. And once they put in their zip code and click that, it'll take them to this page, which tell them that unfortunately we are not servicing their area yet, as we are not currently servicing any area. So then we'll ask for their name, their email, and their address to get a small discount on their first purchase once we are servicing the area.
So for our customer segments, so younger generations of Gen Z and millennials are becoming health conscious and straying away from alcohol consumption, leading to a big drop in alcohol consumption. This, in turn, has led to a need for non-alcoholic alternatives. So, increased demand of mocktails. Our mocktails have many health benefits, like they have lower calories than their alcoholic counterparts. They have a general better well-being, feeling of well-being, and better sleep. And they are very rehydrating. Unlike, again, the alcoholic counterpart, which will cause dehydration, which is not very fun because, you know. So for our customer relationships, you can as a customer you can contact us through Instagram, MailChimp, X, and Facebook. Thank you.
Well, why did Kalani never speak?
I did, sir.
Oh, sorry, I missed it.
It was the vision and the mission statement of what our company goes on.
How did you guys determine COO?
Normally we would have 5 people in our team, but we have 6. And so I took over the role of COO.
Somebody else at COO?
No.
Okay. I'll just continue on. Sam, excellent projection, your voice, baritone, clear, just carries. Very evident you're the CEO and the soul behind it. At some, the way we see it from out here. I don't know if we invented the idea, we came up with it. Now, drinkers and non-drinkers, alcohol consumers and non-alcohol consumers, everybody likes a social setting, but there's a difference. I'm having trouble seeing where you're bringing your product or service or introducing this when people want to mix. So a person has a friend who likes alcohol, their other friend doesn't, their other friend used to, but now can't really be around it because of the temptation. I did see that you actually identified that, and I could have missed it because I've got a lot going on as I try to take each piece you're putting together. Have you thought through those things? Or I don't know if I should address that to you, Samuel, or what. Have you thought through like a mix of the social setting and your drinks being part of it, but the people are still around alcohol?
Right. So for that, for our belief is that if we give people that alternative, that they will naturally no longer want to kind of like sway towards alcohol. So we present that option to give them that opportunity.
So are you making the recipes available potentially to bartenders so that they can make these drinks and you guys sell a recipe? Have you thought of that? Because this could go into bars where this is a great drink right here. Great. And you know what? If a person was shy and they didn't want to be embarrassed at the bar, like, I'm not a drinker and there's some judgment, they might have self-consciousness. They could feel like, I have one too, And so if this happened through the bar type exposure, I've never heard of anything like that at a bar. And I do go to bars and I do go to social settings and I do go to high-end restaurants that have bars and I'm around all of that, and I've never heard of anything besides the Shirley Temple or Roy Rogers, which is for kids usually, that get made at a counter. Anyway, I'll give some of the other judges time to talk. I'm still formulating a little bit.
To add on to that a little bit, so there are actually drinks that are alcoholic that you can make with mocktails with no alcohol that taste pretty much the same, and so that someone, when they see this drink or they taste it, it's like, hey, this tastes like this alcohol drink that I've drank before, but it's non-alcoholic, and I don't have the hangover, the headache, and I don't feel sick after drinking it. So it's less health problems.
Adding on to that, alcohol can take away from the taste of that drink as well. So overall, it's just a better drinking experience.
I have a question. I guess, I don't know if I'm the only one with this, but as far as the direction of whether you guys are providing these cocktail mixes or mocktail mixes as something to be bought at a store as a pre-mixed drink, or if these are recipes you're providing, because I know a lot of the drinking culture, especially people who don't partake in alcoholic drinks, part of that, almost like a ritual for them, is preparing their own drinks just for the conscious idea of knowing exactly what's in it when they drink it. Some people are pretty weary of mocktails, just either because it's so familiar to an alcoholic drink, just for that recovery market that you guys are attempting to advertise to as well. I guess if one of you guys could just let me know, is this intended to be sold as mixed, or are you providing the recipes for non-drinkers to use?
So with that, we are a catering company, so normally they would book us and we would go to an event. We have thought about putting it onto market shelves as well as a pre-mixed drink. We had not thought about the recipes yet, but that is definitely something that we will now consider.
Yeah, because there is a market, and the metrics of, as like Gen Z and millennials being more conscious about partaking in alcohol is accurate. There is the health complications that come into it as well, and I just think with a more clear, an ad video would have really helped you guys just to get across that point of what it exactly is that you're providing. The lack of that just kind of left me at least a little bit lost as to what was going to be provided should I pay for the service as a client. Mm-hmm. And especially with alcohol and its competitors, branding is like key. Commercials are everywhere. Every YouTube video you watch has an alcohol ad. Every sports you watch has an alcohol sponsor. And it's almost to build that identity. And I feel like that's the only place you guys are really kind of lacking, is that identity of what are we providing to customers. Other than that, you guys, very professional presentation, well spoken as well. Samuel, I have to commend your presentation skills as well, CEO. Those are really my only takeaways. Just maybe take a little more time and be a little more clear on what it is you're looking to provide as a company.
Thank you.
And I'll follow as well. Samuel, great job, production, everything, stage presence. I was really, at the beginning, hoping you would just mention non-alcoholic. I was waiting, but there wasn't much at the beginning. I was like, okay, so you have to hone in on that. Mm-hmm. Okay, you have to make it very clear. This is a non-alcoholic beverage. We're trying to sway people off nutrition-wise. It's healthier for you. I didn't hear non-alcoholic. Did anyone else hear that at the beginning? I didn't hear anything that said non-alcoholic. I love how you made the drink in front of me. Everything else, I was like, okay, where are we going with this? And then I was waiting for the service or product offering. I still don't know how you're going to distribute this. Is it going to be cans, bottles? Is it going to be, like you said, is it a catering service where you show up and you make non-alcoholic drinks? I'm still trying to figure out what you guys are trying to do. Do you know what you're trying to do? Or do you have anything in mind of, could this be a pre-made mixer drink that you have, and you say, hey, I want a Lunar Elixir, make it Lunar Elixir. Okay, that makes sense, because now you're under the radar. No one knows that you're not ordering a non-alcoholic drink. That makes sense because you're branding it that way. It's just like ordering, you guys are not of age, but if you order a Blue Dolphin, you know what that is?
No.
Is water. Bartenders know that. That's a keyword of hey, I would like a Blue Dolphin, please. And everyone's like, oh, I've never heard of that. And then it's a water. So it's a code, right? For those people that don't drink, that is a code. So it's the same thing. Say, I want a Lunar Elixir. That is your brand. That you're saying, I want a non-alcoholic to drink alcoholic cocktail that is good without alcohol. See what I mean? I'm using that as the example there. But I think you could be onto something. It's just you got to really figure out what your service and what your product offering is. Because I was waiting for it. I'm still waiting for it. So That I'll let someone else speak, but for the most part, the presentation was pretty good. It's just those are the gaps I see.
Thank you.
You know, I'm just going to jump on that as well, because I think that totally changes the business in terms of the distribution. Are we going to supermarkets? Are we a specialty beverage? Are we a catering company? The economics, the entire foundation of the business. I was almost, when you said we're catering, and that's what I want to confirm, that is what you said, is it is so radically different than, well, really all of my notes, which are oriented around a beverage company, a store, a supermarket shelf, or perhaps direct to high-end restaurants and bar. But it is not a catering company, and that completely changes the positioning. It completely changes the product offering. So if you figure, I would encourage you, that's the biggest thing you need to decide, really, what are we? Because it completely changes the economics. Samuel, I thought you did a great job. I'm just going to editorialize at the beginning. We won't take much of your time. Take as much of my time as you want, because you've got a compelling, interesting idea, and I want to hear it. Whether I'm a member of the investment community, I'm one of your potential customers, you're taking my time because what you're going to give me in exchange is more valuable than the time you're taking from me. So don't feel guilty about taking my time. Anyway, just an editorial comment. In terms of the presentation, real glasses, I think that's huge. I know this may sound small, but when you do these things in person, I fully expect this to be plastic and blessed. And that's showing a level of care and attention to the little things that really make a big difference. So I encourage you to do that. I know this goes back to my previous statement, and I'm reading these in order as I wrote them as you went through the course of your presentation. Your competitive differentiation slide. You're showing a variety of competitors who I am going to assume are all store market shelf specialty beverage companies. The differentiation was we also have energy drinks. We never really touched on that. But based on every other check mark, you were basically offering the same thing. And that's why, again, when we go back to the idea of, well, is this a catering company or is this a consumer beverage play? That also has to change your thinking. Because if it's a catering company, the market is smaller, everything changes, just strategically. It's a completely different game. So if there's not enough differentiation there, if it's just the same thing. I think your strength comes in your branding. I love this logo. I think that if you are going to go direct to consumer in the specialty beverage market, that's where you lean. Because if we're in effect offering the same thing as everybody else, our form of differentiation is our brand. Pressure, again. Sorry, I'm going in order as I saw it. Your SG&A costs, $152,000 for salaries. If we're going to take a step back and this is something you want to pursue, that's not enough money. That would be amongst the six of you about $25,000 a person. You're not going to want to do that. And you will find, eventually, CEOs feel that they are entitled to a little bit more of the pie than everybody else. It's just one of the realities of business. So whether it's you or somebody else, at some point you're going to say, I'm not going to do this for $25,000. So be a little bit more realistic about what it's actually going to cost in your various roles to employ people, whether it be members of this team or something else. The angle, and I understand this from a Gen Z perspective, but the notion of being pressured. So one of the hooks was, we're offering this as an alternative because people could feel pressured to drink. As a millennial, and I don't want to age myself, but at 37, I don't feel pressured. I am now a fully enabled adult. I can make a decision about what I want to do, but the angle of it's better for you, you're not going to feel tired the next morning, you're going to have all the great taste and all the fun of hanging out with your friends, but you're not going to take 3 days to recover when it used to take you 24 hours. All of that, if you're marketing to a millennial generation, is a little bit easier for me to understand than, well, don't feel pressure. It's not I understand that with a younger position in terms of like drink, don't drink, but at a certain age, you've made a conscious decision socially to drink, so that's sort of put off to the side, but it's what are the other benefits that I'm going to achieve by drinking this product? And again, my last note was, is there a way, but it fundamentally changes if this is a catering company, is there a way, if you're going to go direct to market specialty beverage, that it is a mix? Because the question was asked, well, could a bartender serve this, or could you serve it, I'm thinking of a wedding, for example. If it's a mix, couldn't we conceivably add the alcohol later? So the only thing that's missing, and I know you substituted tonic water for what I think gin is in a mojito, not that I was expecting to do that. But could it be substituted? So if we're going direct to market, the idea is, yes, you're going to get a can of the mix. Whether you want non-alcoholic, you pour it in the glass, serve it with ice, garnish it with the mint, you're good to go. If you want the full experience with just adding gin, you're ready to go. So that is a little easier. You're ready to go to market one way or the other, whether you want alcohol or don't want alcohol. Otherwise, great presentation. I really like the branding. I think it's an interesting idea, but you have to figure out what are they.
I wanted to say that I love your presentation. I'm open alcohol. I love the drinks. So this is something that is good for me. I'll be your potential customer client. My advice to you is focus on the why, so that people understand why you're doing this, so they buy. Like for me, we talk about this. Oh, this is why I wanted to buy this drink. Let's say if I hang out with my friends and I don't like the drink, we're in alcohol. I like that you have this offer. So overall, you did a good job. Everybody gave you a lot of good advice, and I just want to say, on this side, speak up more. We do your presentation just to give the audience. We do more than us here. There's only some of us. There'll be more people who want to hear your presentation.
Thank you.
On the team real quick. Annie, you did a great job. I saw you nervousness and I felt it in your struggle. I saw you trying to remember your lines. But I wanted to just encourage you. Public speaking can be very difficult. Cause a lot of anxiety, but I watched you work your way through it, and I wanted to applaud you on that. As far as the titles that were given, that's why I kind of grabbed that COO thing. A COO is generally driven, knows the mechanism of what you're offering, what you're going to do. So I would say, form your team and delineate your duties, what they really are. Carmen, great job in all of this, but you're not a secretary. Secretary really is interchangeable with CFO in the corporate world. CFO's over here, and he did a great job with all of those points. I would put you as executive vice president of sales, and then work with marketing. She's going to connect you with where you're going to do those things, but you have a real good sales presentation, and I mean personal presentation of you as sales. Other than that, I felt that was very good. I think you're onto something that's needed. The fact that catering, if you go to your money page, real quick on what you're going to need to raise and how that's going to be dispensed. It starts with $1,000 per week. I feel like you might have just plugged in numbers to get through this page. I don't think these numbers work. I'm not going to pick them apart, individually, but I've had caterers come out to provide augmented catering at parties that I've had. So I'm not talking about the main food caterer. I had some kind of, I can't remember what it was, an ice cream truck that had all kinds of mixes and stuff. I paid him about $1,200. Well, if you take 52 weeks in the year, multiply it by $1,200, you don't get to where you're saying your incomes can be, where your needs are, or anything else. It just doesn't add up that much. The catering will limit you. Service businesses limit you. It should be an expansion to get exposure, to cause people to buy into what you're doing, and then you work to pivot to what else and mix drinks and serve them. And you're not going to pull more than $1,200 unless somebody wants to just throw money at you. I didn't like paying $1,200 for an ice cream truck when I already had a caterer on everything else, right? So anyway, do some multiplication on those numbers, check it out, and you will see that though your idea has merit, it fits somewhere, you need to work on where you're going to derive revenue. And explore every single avenue of how you can derive revenue with this problem you're solving. That would be my.
I understand. Thank you.
Thank you.